Well, hey, gang, it's Bob Bannister from Rock Talk here with CGCM Rock Radio and Rock is Not Dead Australia. Hey, before we get into things, why don't you take a moment and hit that like and subscribe button, click that bell icon, and maybe leave us a comment as well. Tell us maybe there's somebody you'd like us to chat with one of these times on another edition of Rock Talk. And you know what? It helps us out and it keeps you all informed as well. And for the longest time since I've been interviewing Australian artists, I've wanted to talk to the Lazies. These guys, they've got a connection to Canada. They've got a connection to Australia, of course, originally from Australia. But the thing is, I really wanted to talk to them. I think they make some kick-ass music, and I finally got the opportunity to do so. Sat down with Leon, the lead singer from the Lazies, and had a really great chat with him. And I think you're really going to like it too. So why do you say we step inside that Rock Talk studio and sit down and have a chat with Leon from the Lazies on this edition of Rock Talk with CGCM Rock Radio and Rock is Not Dead Australia.
Like lava running hot under the collar. I'm crying out, sweet mama, running hot under the collar.
And as promised, joining us from the band The Lazies, the one, the only Leon Harrison. How you doing, my friend?
Thank you. I'm great. Yeah, I'm doing well, mate. How are you?
Very good, thank you, and welcome into this edition of Rock Talk. So the Lazies have got a connection to Canada. Explain that to those uninitiated.
Yeah, an amazing connection to Canada. First and foremost, I love the country. I love the people. I love the music scene. We took the punt and came over for Canadian Music Week a long time ago now. 2014, so going on over 10 years, just over a decade ago. Yeah, during that process, we met Ian Desar from Billy Talent, and things just never really, we just didn't look back, is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, started writing songs, lifted our songwriting game. His cred sort of got us into the radio game, different markets, Canada, Europe, UK. Yeah, and can't thank the guy enough. That's really how our Canadian connection came all about. And yeah, since then there's been a decade of, I think I've been there every year since that year. And yeah, I just love it. It's just such a good vibe, man, down in Toronto. I love it.
Yes, I will agree. I love Toronto now. I live about 3 hours north of there, up in cottage country. But yeah,
Nice.
just absolutely amazing down there. And like you said, the music scene down there is just stunning.
Yeah, man, everyone talks, I think that's really important. Everyone supports, talks, hangs out. There's no ego, I don't find. If you want to approach someone, I've found that that's an easy, accessible thing to do. I think that's a great way that any community grows, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's step back into talking about the Lazies. Give us the Cole's Notes version of the Lazies.
Is that a Canadian thing? What's that mean?
Cole's Notes,
Cole's Notes?
quick, short kind of deal.
Oh, right. Well, we're just a hard-working rock and roll band from Sydney, Australia. We grew up loving all our sort of older bands like The Angels, Rose Tattoo, AC/DC, that kind of sound shaped, a generation in those pubs and things that people of the Gen X, I suppose you'd call them, would go out to. Midnight Oil, Cold Chisel, they're all kind of bands like the Tragically Hip. They've got this legacy. They've got this rawness about them. They fucking use guitars. They don't use auto tune. Anyway, it's kind of like the real feel, man. You go to the pub, you have a beer, you see a band slogging it out on the stage, and there's not too many of them left. So we're very proud to be a part of that club, and that's essentially what the band is, a pub rock band.
Awesome, awesome. And I am so glad that you mentioned the Tragically Hip. I mean,
Yeah,
you know what? Not enough people outside of Canada know of the Hip. And
yeah,
that
that's right.
institution.
I think that's a blessing and a curse, but yeah, no, they're obviously household names in Canada. And like I said, that was the first correlation I made between Australian pub rock and the connection with Canada and all of that. Is like these bands out of that era were just really raw. They wrote about, issues that potentially you couldn't see on social media every single day, or they weren't shoved down your throat. They had a voice, and they just had this sound that represents, I guess, the country. So over here we've got the bands I mentioned, and you've got the hip, and yeah, it's just the sound. It's the sound of an era of a country, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So what inspired young Leon to get into music?
Well, my father was a music teacher, so that obviously kicked it off pretty easily. Um, I got on the drums. I found a sense of belonging. It just felt good. Got into songwriting. That's an art in itself. One that we're all forever trying to master. But you want to try and keep a sort of a level of consistency with your songwriting. I really love it. It's an expressive mode of transport for a human being. And especially when the audience connects with those songs, and you see people getting a lot of joy from them, that's the ultimate for me. So that inspiration and yeah, just traveling and just not having a full-time job and fucking the man, you know what I mean? I've never been one for somebody to tell you what to do. I've never, I was a prick at school, as they said, and I turned out all right. But yeah, not one for authority, mate. And rock and roll is all about that. So that's pretty much a synopsis of my life.
Now you mentioned songwriting, you mentioned mastering songwriting. Can anybody ever master songwriting?
Well, I know that probably a lot of Canadians might say Rush did. You
True.
know what I'm saying? They're pretty wild. They're out there, man. I'd never see our band writing anything like that. Young Crownlands are kind of a protege of that. But no, there's no mastering of songwriting, but there are masters who have songwrite who do songwrite.
Absolutely.
Tools another
Oh yeah.
out there that have been how they songwrite. I wouldn't even want to delve into, mate. It must be crazy, but yeah, we're pretty meat and potatoes on the songwriting spectrum. But it's also about how catchy your song is and how much it makes somebody feel something. And if that's in the rock world and they're moving, you've done your job.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what's the creative process like in the Lazies? Like, is it you bring a riff into the band or somebody else does, or do you maybe you bring a lyric in and they write around that? How does that work?
Yeah, it's pretty stock standard. It's a little bit different in the fact that members live overseas. Matty, the lead guitarist in our band, is one of the core songwriters. He's living in just I don't know what direction of Toronto. Where's Niagara Falls? Down that way.
Yeah, it's south of Toronto.
South, there you go. Yeah. So yeah, he'll jump online, Ian will jump online. We'll have all our things ready to go that we've been working on, which we're actually doing currently. And we find windows of time where we can bring those together and discuss them just like anything. If you were running any kind of small business, you'd want to have a meeting about it, chat about it. Who's best for that role? Does this work? Why didn't that work? You generally know. You have a gut feeling.
Mhm.
And then once you get through that process and you feel you've got a song, sort of laid down, it's all mapped out. You put a demo together, you see how it's working again, maybe get some opinions of close people, and then when you sign off on it, you've got a song. You go to the studio.
Excellent. So speaking of studio, are you heading back into the studio anytime soon?
Yeah, sure. We're releasing singles at the moment, Bob, because albums they're bloody expensive, and a lot of the songs sit on streaming services now collecting dust. You might have a core fan base that love the songs, but unfortunately, due to the payouts to the actual musicians, um, that doesn't warrant, you know, $80,000 being dumped into a studio session over a month.
True.
We've got to be careful how we spend money, and people might say, "Oh, you can record songs cheaper than that." Well, with rock and roll, no, you can't. So that's just the bottom line. You've got to grow as a rock band. Our recordings of the past are nowhere as good as what they are now. So yeah, that you've got to start somewhere. But we do have a standard now. So we're just putting out singles, and we'll see where that leads us. But yeah, I think the next one's planning to come out late January, early February. So,
All
but we'll
right.
put out a few songs for 2026.
Excellent, excellent. Now you touched on something here that I've been thinking about lately, and it seems to be the way that the music industry is going. Like record companies, they don't back anybody anymore, aside from the big established acts, and they're not going out and finding any new acts, it seems. So is that the way you see the music industry going now? Is a lot of independent artists releasing just singles, a stream of singles?
Well, yeah, a lot of artists are doing that now, but for some reason, the stigma associated with rock is an album. But stigmas don't have dollars attached to them either. So you've got to just play it out as you see it. I mean, it took us a long time to convince people to work with us based on releasing singles, but they'd hear the quality of the singles. They'd see them on the radio or hear them on the radio, see them on the music programs, things like that. So I feel we've established ourselves to a degree where we can bring out some singles. The band would love nothing more than to do an album, but as you say, if no one's funding it because it doesn't sell because of streaming services, then there's a whole destructive ecosystem going on here. And personally, I just don't give a shit what people say. If we put out great singles and people go and listen to it, well, we might earn a small little fee off that single, but if there's another six songs sitting there getting bugger all streams, making no editorial playlists, and all that jazz,
Mhm.
then you could say that that's a bad investment. We've invested money into something that's not making money. So there you go. Business 101, guys.
Absolutely. So if someone was to go and see the Lazies live, what can they expect?
Well, we get asked all the time, and we pride ourselves on being a live band. We've been playing for around 17 to 18 years live. And what you're gonna get is you're gonna get your face fucking blasted off. We don't take any prisoners. Bring your earplugs if you need them, but you're gonna drink beers. Usually the band's out having a beer with all the fans. We're always at our merch table, meeting people, taking pictures after the gigs. But through the show, yeah, man, it's just a wall of sound and energy. That's it.
That's excellent. And you have one place, one venue that you just absolutely love to play. You've played there 1,000 times, but every time you play there, it feels like home.
Do I have one?
Yeah.
Do I have one? Yeah, I'd probably say the Horseshoe Tavern in Toronto.
Oh
That one for
yeah.
sure. That's like we've met a lot of people that we've worked with in the industry over the years through that place, through performances there. The staff are just fucking legends. The beer flows and the party just happens all night. You can't beat the Horseshoe Tavern, Toronto.
Okay, here's an off the cuff question then. Where's the beer better? Is it better in Australia or is it better in Canada?
Well, I'm good. I better be careful here. Your listeners are Canadian, but
That's okay. Hey, you've met enough Canadians. You know that to us, beer is beer is beer.
oh, look, I'm lucky enough that I get to travel both sides of the globe and spend equal amounts of time there. So I enjoy crossing over. Like my first Canadian Molson in the summer, at a patio in Toronto. I'm just loving it. But then when I come back and I have my first summer VB on a patio in Australia, I'm loving that too. So I'm gonna say it's an equal tie here.
There you go. All right. So before we wrap this up, I love to do this little thing called this or that. It's just some top of the head questions, nothing to do
Sure.
with music really. But you know what? I think we're gonna do the Canadian edition this time around. See how you
That's
do on
sweet.
this one. All
Sweet.
right. Butter tart or poutine?
Oh, poutine, because I've never had a butter tart.
No, Leon.
Well, we could create some great slang for what a butter tart is.
So here's your order then. So the next time you get back to Canada, go to the first bakery, not Tim Hortons. Go to the first bakery and buy a butter tart. Your
All
your
right.
mouth will thank you.
You've taught me something. Is it like custard? I assume it's some kind of
No,
custard.
no.
No,
No, it's
no.
got this sugary, this syrupy, sugary filling with raisins and sometimes walnuts. And
Oh, wow. Okay.
some of the church
Sounds
ladies,
like something you have with a cup of tea.
you can have it with anything. It's that damn good.
I love it.
It's like a mini pie. That's all right. So let's keep going here. Timmy's or Starbucks?
Oh, Tim Hortons. Tim
Hockey,
Hortons. I've got to go Timmy's.
hockey or baseball?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go baseball because I love that. It ties in with cricket in Australia. Big fan of the Blue Jays. Bloody saddened that they didn't win the World Series, but yeah, and there's always next year. Yeah, I'm going to go baseball. And it's summer. Come on, man. You're out drinking piss, watching sport.
Absolutely, absolutely. Snowball fight or water balloon fight?
If I had more of the latter, yeah, I'm going to go water balloon because I've got a good story about having a white Christmas in Canada. And look, Matt's such a great guitarist, our lead guitarist, but he's pretty unco at most other things. We always have a laugh in his honor about his terrible sporting performances and things such as. But anyway, this one Christmas, I was having it with his family, his girlfriend's family, all of that. And we had a snow fight, and out of nowhere, man, I just got smoked. Absolutely smoked in the face, like to the point where this thing had kind of frozen and it fucking hurt. And I looked up and it was Matt that did it, and I just couldn't believe it. I just was fucking gobsmacked. How did you throw that at my head? But I also have one other story about a snowball fight, and this time I got in a bit of trouble. I didn't know it was kind of an illegal thing to do to throw a snowball inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've done that and I got heavily told off. I got into the car park and just came in and fucking smoked someone, and it was not appreciated. Ah.
One last question here before we go to the finale. Indoor festival or big tent outdoor festival?
Indoor festival or a tent. I kind of think a tent's more indoor at a festival. Um, I like a tent. I do like a tent to play in a tent. It's loud
Yeah.
and you kind of still get the feeling of a show that's inside, whereas outside as a vocalist, it can be a little difficult to get that vibe. I guess often you need a little bit more verb through the ears because everything just seems like it disappears.
Right.
But either way, if we're having a good time and the crowd's there to enjoy themselves, I like every fucking gig.
It's funny about speaking of tents. One of my very first radio MC jobs. This is back years ago. I was going on stage to bring on the band, and I had a handful of frisbees to toss out to the crowd. And of course, it's in the tent. Everybody's drinking. I toss out the first few frisbees. I've got one left. And I'm going, okay, this one's going all the way to the back. And I just wing this thing. And it happens like in the slow-mo, like in the movies where it goes dum dum, dum dum, dum dum. And then you see the frisbee tilt on its side and come down right on the top of the guy's head. He turns around and he goes, I got hit by a frisbee.
I've seen Hugh Dillon from the headstones throw a couple of harmonicas into the crowd. Fucking hell.
Oh, that would hurt.
Oh, yeah, some bird got smoked.
And finally, our final question here: pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Oh, fuck yeah. That's a massive yes. We live in the tropics, man. Come on.
All right, awesome. Leon Harrison from the Lazies. Take 2 seconds and self-promote the band and your socials and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me, Bob. I appreciate it. We're on all social media at The Lazies. We've got our new single, which is Hot Under the Collar. I think it's #2 on the Canadian billboards right now. Check that out. Head to your streaming services, you cheap bastards. Listen to our music. Buy a ticket. The band's website's thelaziesband.com. You can check us out. Just type in The Lazies to Google. You'll see our dumb mugs. And take care of yourselves. Thanks for watching the video. And we'll see each other out on the road.
Awesome. I want to thank you again, Leon, for joining us. And I want to thank you for joining us on this edition of Rock Talk. And we'll catch you again next time with CGCM Rock Radio.
Cheers.